Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and then I could send watches like this to your inbox as soon as tomorrow morning. If you enjoy these watches, you can buy them on our website, thewatchbox.com. Buy, trade, and sell luxury watches on thewatchbox.com. The watch on my wrist for the 2018 model year, launched in late 2017, easily qualifies as one of Vacheron Constantin's best of the last decade, because today we are discussing the Vacheron Constantin Historiques triple calendar 1942, reference 3110V in stainless steel, 40 millimeters across the round of the case. You can see it wears easily on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. I would actually say that because of the short cropped lugs that are tightly downturned, this watch wears more like a 38 or a 39, and I believe you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters in circumference. It is 40, however, and reasonably thin. As you can see, the sloped case flank and domed box section sapphire only stretch 10.7 millimeters tall. The spacing between the lugs is a vintage-inspired 19 millimeters, and from lug to lug, the watch is a manageable 49.3 millimeters, and I consider 50 millimeters or fewer to be the ideal measurement for a watch suited to smaller male wrists. I define that as about 14 to 16.5 centimeters. Now, the timepiece does have a wonderful complexity about its profile. It is gorgeous, and it gets maximum mileage out of its full polished stainless steel case. The medium blue that's chosen for this is almost ultramarine. That's the color. It's perfectly keyed to the heat-blued steel hands at center. Large rectangular scale alligator leather, and as you can see, a monotone stitch, folded edges, semi-curved spring bars allowing the strap to be drilled close to the case, and yet, despite the close drilling, there's no constraint to the movement of the strap. It's not pinched against the case flank, so it does work well on small wrists. You'll note that these vintage evocative claw lugs, the watch is inspired by the 1942 reference 4240, and the most memorable portion of that watch reprised here in the form of this lug profile as well as the triple drawn case striation. Absolutely gorgeous. On the underside, you can see that the watch uses alligator again, and this is an upscale touch used by some independents today, such as Chopard and F. Pigeon, increasingly used by some of the better high horology houses in the mainstream. Having alligator on both sides helps you to get up to 1/2 decade out of a strap. It's simply tougher. It's a little bit more expensive to spec, but it belongs on a watch of this caliber. Full steel pin buckle with a motif Vacheron connoisseurs will easily recognize, the Maltese cross, and it's a recurring theme throughout Vacheron Constantin watches. You can see pusher adjusters on the case flank designed to ease the adjustment of the calendar system, and on the crown side, the Maltese cross emblem again. You'll also note in profile that the sapphire is dramatically domed. It is a domed and box section sapphire that's designed to evoke the heaping high-set plexiglass or thermoplastic crystals that would have featured on the 1942 original. Of the two Historiques models that debuted in late 2017, the 1948 and the 1942, I've come around to the opinion that this is the more attractive. The dial certainly plays the role of a faithful vintage tribute, as it's entirely flat with printed late Art Deco style Arabic numerals and extended baton style hour and minute hands, counterweighted baton style seconds hand in the somewhat inset black on cream printed sub-seconds. You'll note another feature that was common to Jaeger-LeCoultre calendar watches as well as Jaeger-LeCoultre powered Vacheron Constantin calendar watches in the 40s, the use of a red text on a white base for the day as well as the month disc, and there is a red on silver radial date display with an index in red. So this is a dynamic dial that always has something going on, beautifully balanced with awesome bilateral symmetry. There must be something mathematically hard-coded into this case and dial that makes it objectively beautiful. I know we say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, beauty is a matter of personal taste. No, this is objectively gorgeous, and I defy you to say otherwise. You'll also note that there is a luminescence, a slight metallic tone to this dial. Sometimes it appears almost a jaundiced, aged yellow. Other times it appears almost a shimmering champagne. There's a complexity here that belies the flatness of the dial as a whole. Now you turn the watch over and you see, let's get close to the case back, you see that the case back of the watch is just as intriguing as the front. There we go. This is caliber 4400 QC. Now you'll note it is a manual wind in-house Vacheron caliber with a traditional center wheel. It's actually like a miniaturized pocket watch. 65-hour power reserve, 28,800 vibrations per hour. Adjusted in a chronometer-like 5 positions. You'll note today, though it does bear the Poinçon de Genève, the Geneva hallmark, this is now a full case standard and has been since 2012. So both the complete watch and the movement have received the ultimate imprimatur, the third-party sign of approval for watches made within the city or canton of Geneva. Beautifully made. You'll note all screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots and chamfered circumferences, so when you turn the watch flush to the camera, you can see all of the polished screw heads turn black, and the gleam and glint along the edge of the bridges, that's the hand-laid, mirrored, rounded anglage. This is not done with a clumsy machine bevel. If I get the right angle, you'll see that the same level of attention to detail and polish is lavished on the jewel countersinks themselves. And then finally, VC finishes things off with a perfectly aligned, abrasive wheel-laid Côte de Genève. Sometimes on cheaper watches this will be stamped. Here you can see that they're crested. They're light on one side and they darken on the opposite side. That's how you know you're looking at the real deal and not some sort of stamped ersatz Geneva wave. Though you can't quite see it, there's also a fine perlage pattern across the base plate beneath the balance itself. A beautifully made movement that keeps outstanding time, adjusted in 5 positions, finished to Geneva hallmark standards, and thin enough that the watch is able to maintain a low profile and remain compatible with virtually any dress cuff. There's hard-pressed opportunities to fault this watch in any way. I guess it could be more water resistant. It might be nice if it were luminescent, but this is pretty darn close to a perfect dress watch, and anything short of fawning approval is almost just grousing. I don't want to be the curmudgeon. This thing rocks. See it and make it yours on our website.